Hello, my name is Jano and I'm the CEO at Jano Holdings Limited, where we lend money. We operate in the financial industry. We're a microfinance institution, and we lend money. So if you need money, you have a consignment you'd like to clear, you have a car that you're importing and you're probably stuck with a few millions of monies, we get to top it up, and you keep with your car. We do not even park it. So that's what we actually do. So I endeavor to come here and share with us what it is that can help us both on the side of the lenders, but also as well as the clients. Because look, if we as lenders get to grow, but the clients are not growing, that means we cannot, whom do we lend to then? We actually have to grow with our clients, because then we shall have people to lend to. But also we shall have to grow as well, because we grow by the process that we get, but also have to support our clients to grow. And that's why I make time, I commit my resources to actually come and speak to us so that we can grow together. So today we have quite an interesting topic, which is very, very contentious. And it's litigation in the money lending business. Litigation. So litigation is the procedures that you go through, the court processes that you go through. If someone comes for a loan, and this actually applies most to money lenders, applies to most to financial institutions. What procedures do you go through? A person has come, has got money from you, and probably has refused to pay, genuinely refused, or probably even actually failed to pay. You have to strike a balance. So I want to share with you 3 key pointers that you actually have to look at. It is important, just in my opener, in my opening statement, that you, as you grow, it is important that you support your clients to actually grow with you. Because if your clients don't grow, that means you cannot grow as well. Because where do you get your profits? So it's important that in doing the litigation procedures against the client, it is important that you have at the back of your mind that it is supportive of the client. Unless that client that you've supported or the client that you've lent to is a fraudster, because those ones also exist. There's a person who comes to you with an intention to defraud, quite a number of them. Even in Kampala, quite a number of them. Someone comes to borrow when you're actually very sure that they're not going to pay you. So how do you approach them? So one of the things, of the 3 things that I want to put up, of course there are quite a number of them, but I want to first highlight the 3 because of the limited time that I have. The first one, it is important to know that before you go to court, there is always a way out. So if there is a way out, opt for that way out rather than going to court. Let me repeat that. Before you think of going to court or go to battle it out with the client, it is important that you understand the plight of the client. Because then if you go to court and the matter sits there for a year or 2 years or 1.5 years, the amount of money you're going to miss out, which you would have earned on that very amount of money that this client has, is way higher than if you sat down and worked out a modality with this client. Now, this does not apply to all the clients, because if it is a fraudster and the person came truly to defraud you, that means they're ready for court and probably you have to take them on. But if it is a client who has been paying genuinely and probably has a genuine reason for not paying, it is important that you don't rush to court. So you should only go to court if you must, because then you might actually pay higher. Apart from the court fees, you even pay higher in terms of time, in terms of the capital that sits down for that while. I have a colleague who even told me the guy lent to someone about $600,000 US. And these guys have been in court for the last probably 6 years. So you can imagine how much this guy has lost because of the chunk of the money that is seated there. How much it would have done. Now, had they sat down and worked out a modality, or now the client would have paid, it would have been a different narrative altogether. It would have been a different story. But court can drag. So opt out of court if you have the audacity. If you have an option of off court, do off court rather than going to court. That's the first thing. And then also 2, much of the clients that we clash with, much of the clients that we end up in court is contributed to by the staff that we have. I have hands-on experience. Sometimes a staff that you have, your customer relations person, your loans officer, can actually impel a client to opt for court rather than working out a thing in the right way. Why? Because I've seen scenarios where a staff harasses a client to the extent that the client gets tired, gets so tired and mad and says, you know what, Kama mbaya, let's go to court. Even when they had the plan of paying, they opt for court just because they have been traumatized. They have been harassed. There's need for professionalism in your collection services. Yes, I know that a person could have defaulted. Yes, I know, because I'm playing in this industry. I'm not just speaking theory. I'm operating this industry. But it's also important that you actually become professional. Once you realize that this one varies from client to client, there are those clients who are actually not as good. But what alternative are you proposing? If the client is not as good, do you also propose that you be not as good? Because as a professional in this industry, I know even the Bible says it, that if someone is hard, you being a little weaker, possibly, then you actually get to handle them better. Because hard cannot create a solution. So it is important that you closely monitor your loans officers, because some of the loans end in default, some of the loans end in litigation, some of the loans end in court, end in back and forth, end in some criminality, just because the loans officer handled that loan badly. So you have to be very cautious which person actually operates in your loans department, both customer relations as well as collections. So it is important to know that it could be a contributing factor. I actually know of a friend whose financial institution closed probably because one other person who was handling loans was handling them with a very rude, very proud, and very harsh mentality and very harsh approach. And before you know it, all clients are running away. You keep asking yourself, how come we are serving clients once? How come we don't have referrals? How come we don't have return clients? Actually, those are some of the digits, some of the metrics that you actually have to look at. Because in assessing end of month, in assessing end of quarter performance, what do you look at? How many clients have come back? And how many clients of a particular staff have come back? Because then that can point to you that, you know what, there's a difference that this staff is doing that this other staff is not doing. Because how come the clients are handled by this staff actually coming back and they're giving us referrals than the clients who are coming from this loans officer? That is a pointer. Then you can even know whom to promote and whom not to promote. Then you can know whom to entrust with your clients, especially premium clients, and whom to entrust with probably non-core clients. And you see, these clients always have categories. Believe it or not, it is important that you put categories. That's why even in the banks, there's premium clients, there's platinum clients, and there's also general happiness. The general clients that come to the banking hall and line up. Why? Because those guys have a special category. There's a person who will come to the bank to withdraw and is served a cup of coffee. But there's a person who comes to the bank to withdraw money and he goes in the general line and he waits for 3 hours. This is preferential treatment. So same applies to your business, same applies to your industry. There are those clients who have come 5 times, 10 times. So you cannot afford to treat them the same way. And you see, if you do not have specific staff that you know that are handling clients very well, you may end up putting that premium client who has been keeping you in business to wrong hands. And before you know it, the person who was good and paying well ends up in litigation, ends up in court, and that's heartbreaking. And then you start wondering what went wrong. And yet, it's because you're not critical, you're not curious of whom it is that actually handled that person. And before you know it, it is because of your officer, it is because of your loans person that has actually caused that impasse. So the third thing that you have to look at is, it is key to look at a win-win. You know, much of the time, we tend to think that, you know, we're going to collect all the money all the time. I am kidding you not that every business has a loss. So if you're a business person, if you're an entrepreneur, know it from the back of your mind that at a certain point, you actually have to make a loss. And that's why in the banking industry, in the financial industry, that's why we have provisions. Because there are some loans that you look at and like, you know what, I think the likelihood of collecting from these loans is very, very minimal. So you have to start providing for them. That the profits that you're making have to cater for the loans that are tending to getting bad. Those are called provisions. You have to provide for them. So it is key that you provide for those loans. So you'll experience defaulters, as a matter of fact. So when that situation arises and the client has failed to pay, especially good clients, work out an amicable solution. You should actually be able to forego part of the interest. You should be able to forego part of the monies. Sit on table, talk it through, rather than going to court, opt for a win-win, rather than a win-lose. So it's not that all the time you actually have to collect all the money. So I prefer win-win so that you can actually get to keep in business, and you don't know There are some clients that we have opted for a win-win, and before you know it, the person who refers you a client who even comes and takes probably 100 million or 200 million. And before you know it, the interest that you made from the person they have referred is way higher than the amount of money you've made from them, but also you'd have made from them time to come. So handle those clients because you're marketing through them, not to them. You're serving through them, but not to them directly. So have that mentality, have that mindset. Before you know it, you're going to get to higher heights. Go and implement. I say today, tomorrow, and forever. Go and implement. If you've committed your time, your data, and your mind to consider this video and watch, learn 2-3 things, go and implement, because together we shall get to grow and even clean up this industry. Thank you for committing your time. Thank you for watching. God bless you and have a blessed day. You can always check us out at www.janakiholdings.com. We are always there to serve you. Thank you. You can always subscribe, comment, share a topic you'd like talked about. I'll be able to talk about it. Thank you and God bless you.